in our Discord like go offline. And we're back. So, Ghoul Run. The pair of dwarves that carry you off drag you back to a large walled structure with like moderate-sized stone walls wrapped around it, and then inside the perimeter, a good distance in, there is a large building carved out of a single massive stone. As you get inside, you are dragged through a number of checkpoints. All of your things are taken from you and put away in a box named by... Who are you anyway? What's your name, boy?
Gulran.
Alright, this is for Gulran. You got a last name? A family and anything?
Unfortunately, no.
Sad bastard.
I don't know if my parents were married, but if not, then yes, I would be a bastard.
If you don't know your mother, you're a bastard.
Is that how that works?
It's as far as we see it. They take you down into the dungeons, bring you to a cell carved into what looks like a large, just a stone wall with a number of floors that run in between that lead to a variety of different cells. And they toss you into one of these cells. All right, you'll be here until we get this all sorted out. You can't just be coming into places and proclaiming things on the streets, boy.
There's no other choice. You didn't really have a reception up there.
Well, perhaps you should have done a little bit more scouting or used a little bit more tact of some sort. You can't just run around yelling at people. What kind of place do you think this is?
A place that I wish it to stand in the future, had I not done this, perhaps.
Well, I hope that what you're saying is true.
I mean, I hope it's not. I don't wish...
For your sake, I hope it's true. If it's not true, we have to put you to the axe.
Fair enough.
And the two dwarves that led you down will turn and take their leave. About 40 minutes or so will pass when a dwarf dressed in chain from head to toe will walk up to the door of your cell. I got a lady looking for you. Maybe you know her.
I assume if anyone's looking for me, it may be my traveling companions.
Short. Claiming to be a gnome. Doesn't seem like a gnome, though. She seems... Her vocal tones are wrong. Gnomes are much more annoying than this one.
I don't know if I need some sort of check. Like, do I know he's talking about Brianna? Because I know she's not a gnome. And I don't know why she would lie about...
Give me a raw intel check. Or a sense motive. Your choice.
Okay.
I think either one of those can go, okay? Okay, so you get the impression he's probably referencing Brianna. That guy was talking about... Oh, no, you didn't hear him talking about sneaking people through, but... Brianna's the only person that you know that could be confused for a gnome.
Do I get the implication that she's lying about who she is for safety reasons, or do I feel like they just misjudged?
With a 19, you probably just feel like they misjudged her.
I think I know who you're talking about, but she's no gnome. Halfling, more like, I believe.
That would make a lot more sense. No gnome would ever be that kind of personable.
Well, we did run into a gnome earlier who helped us get down here, but...
Yes, I saw him there. All right, so what is it you're claiming that was going on? What are you doing down here?
Well, first of all, I don't know if you know the town Knightsbridge.
I'm familiar.
They had some dealings with you for the tunnel.
Well, it was the country, not just Knightsbridge. They want to get a tunnel going between here and the capital.
Yes.
Well, your capital, I should say.
Right. Yes, so I'm from there, and we were given a task to head to our capital. We were under the impression that there may be some dealings we could do with you to get through, but on our way through, we encountered battlements and siege weapons. It seemed my companions seemed to claim that it could be indicative of an impending attack on your city.
And what kind of creature did you fell to discover these battlements?
Does Gulran know the creature's name? I believe whoever knew about it told us all, right?
Yes, that's correct.
I believe it's what they call a drider. I had not encountered these things before this.
And this was not like a man riding atop a spider. This was...
No, it was half... I think it was a female and half spider. I'm not an expert in these things, but definitely was not riding it.
And it was at the tunnel that your people built.
Yes, it was further up in the tunnel. The siege weapons were off to the side, looked to be hidden. We're not sure its purpose, but my companions put it together and they thought it may be an attack on your city. And I'm not from here, as your man may have told you. I was grown an orphan in the human town. A half-dwarf actually raised me in the church, one of their churches. I felt as strong that you people are the first full... Oh wait, there are many other full dwarves in the Knightsbridge, right?
There are other full dwarves in Knightsbridge. It's possible that you've never run into any of them, but they do exist in Knightsbridge.
You are the first natural dwarven civilization I've come across, and I believe my god would not allow me not to do something to warn you of an impending attack, perhaps.
Your god? You mean as a dwarf, you're not a devout worshipper of... what's his name? Krazkran?
Have I ever heard of this god?
Fuck no. This is not any god that exists in any pantheon you've ever seen.
I've grown up in a church and I've never heard of this god. I assume it's perhaps some of my dwarven culture that has not been taught to me.
Krazkran made the tunnels you see around you. He is responsible for the mountains being what they are, and the earth being shaped into the holes that lead you from here to hell. Well, what we refer to as hell, where the damned drow live.
Unfortunately, I believe my religious teachings are just what I was taught by the half-dwarf cleric who taught me the ways of Shashat, a goddess of knowledge.
Shashat.
Perhaps the dwarves don't follow the same pantheon as the surface dwellers do. I would not know.
I am not familiar with Shashat, as you call her. Down here, we only know Krazkran.
Is it a fair assumption that, I don't know if Gloria know this, like different there's only one set of gods and maybe different cultures just call them different things?
Perhaps.
Or is it like conceivable that, okay.
It's perceivable they have entirely different gods as well.
Okay. So Goron just kind of like nods in like acknowledgement that there's perhaps a lot he doesn't know about his dwarven kin.
All right.
By the way, is there different like skin tones of these dwarves? Like, are like they all look similar to me, or is it like
no? These
like
these dwarves are like lightning significantly in color.
Okay.
So you've got a little bit more of a darker complexion. These are starting to become much lighter in complexion, as they don't really have a lot of access to sun and heat. Their skin tone is not making that natural transition that a surface dwarf would.
Okay.
All right. Well, let me run this by my superiors, and we'll see if you're how they feel about this. Did you and the girl come here alone, or were there any others? Do we have a whole task force assigned to exterminate us that I need to be worried about?
Be a foolish task force to openly talk to you if we were here for that purpose.
Well, maybe you're a fool and you believe that you'll be able to take us out from the inside.
That would never cross my mind. But there are 4 of us in total that were sent on the journey, including myself.
Very good. Your cooperation is much appreciated. I will speak to my superiors and I will let them know you've been very cooperative. We should be able to get the answers we're looking for.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you. He will head off. Sometime later, Antaeus and Elizabeth.
Hello.
We got some guards outside looking for some people that don't match anybody else in here's description.
Well, I guess it's time for us to turn ourselves in, Antaeus.
Oh joy.
I will disarm and hold my weapon out in a way that's like I'm holding it off to the side, like you can take it from me if you want it. I'm not trying to hurt you, and I'll walk out to meet them.
Okay.
Yeah, me too.
The 2 of you can head down, and the guards are waiting down below. All right. You're a human and an elf. Not what I expected. Dwarf and a gnome down there. No matter. There were 2 that we were told that would not be like the rest of the people here. Specifically what we had said. Specifically what we were told. Come with us.
I will follow.
All right.
Follow very closely.
They will guide you to the same place that Brianna was taken. They will cuff the 2 of you, and bring you into the same room where you will see Brianna, and the wizard in black, seated on a bench. Looks like I've failed.
Yeah, they came to the door, and I didn't figure it was wise to not just comply since we're trying to put on a friendly face here.
Well, hopefully this is all for the right reasons and not the wrong reasons. I certainly hate when things go for the wrong reasons.
And me both.
The man in the chain will, after another little while passes, come into the room. All right. So far, your story lines up with your friend. I see the other 2 he mentioned are here as well, I'm assuming. Yes? You came in here with him?
Yep.
And on your way in here, what kind of creature did you encounter?
A drider and some spiders.
Yes, the drider was closer to the entrance of the tunnels, only a couple of hours in, if I remember correctly, and the spiders were much closer to here.
Yep.
We know spiders are regular problems throughout all the tunnels, just in general.
Pardon my ignorance, but are driders common this
No.
close to the surface?
Driders are nowhere near common this side of the surface. They would not normally travel this far up. It's very, very rare that we see a drider even halfway down, let alone this far.
That's what I thought. I just wanted to confirm with somebody else.
You can be certain this is a problem. Gulran, a pair of dwarves come, ask you to reach your hands through the out so they can shackle your hands again.
May I do so?
They will bring you to a room where you will see the rest of your party and the man in chains saying the last words that he spoke to Antaeus.
There's a man in chains?
The man in chain. The man wearing the chainmail.
Yeah, okay.
Goron!
Hello?
All right, so the two of you are dismissed. He dismisses the two guards. What we have here is a bit of a problem. And I hate to admit it, but your friend that got you in here has been telling us that it's a problem for a while.
Interesting.
Rumor has been that the drow are getting a little more feisty, but we had reason to believe they'd launch a frontal assault, not an assault from above. How they managed to get to those tunnels is a bit concerning. We were told that there were no tunnels, that all the tunnels were tracked, all the tunnels were mapped, and not one of them led back to drow civilization. So either somebody didn't do their jobs correctly, which it wouldn't surprise me. You overworlders never take the proper amount of time to check on things. My bet is they got to a single point where it branched more than two ways, and they said, "Welp, I only see two ways to go here."
I wouldn't be surprised. A lot of people are just sort of lazy at their jobs.
Well, things like this can't be shortchanged.
Are these still necessary? Gul'ran will raise his hands, shackled.
He gestures to the other three that are also still shackled, and
I thought everyone.
No, he'll nod. Until I feel comfortable, this is how it will be.
All right.
I don't disbelieve what you're saying. I am concerned that you are nothing but pawns in a bigger plot, in a bigger plan. Or perhaps you're a complicated trick.
Do you not have any casters of spells to confirm our memories of the things we speak of?
Wizardry is just simply a tool to continually befuddle people with misinformation. It's very easy to have information planted in one's head that can be called up whenever needed. We know the tricks of you, surfacers.
Well, I am a cleric, so if you're needing an oath to the gods to prove my honesty.
And I can introduce you to a cleric that would just as soon burn your body as fast as possible and claim it was a sacrifice for good purposes.
Well, that's not any good cleric I would associate with.
People have their own opinions about what the right and wrong is.
Well, if we are pawns, this would be news to us as well.
Well, that's the problem, isn't it? A pawn never knows when they're a pawn until they are shown to be one. So, my next question is, who are you working for and what was your ordeal?
We work for the Ministry of Magic back in Knightsbridge.
The hell's a Ministry of Magic?
It's sort
You
of
work for Mom?
No.
The men on a mission?
It's a place that makes sure people aren't using magic ways you shouldn't. We kind of investigate issues of magic being misused. We had a particular mission where we had some things from our mission that we were to take to the capital, and we kind of, I guess, didn't listen closely enough to our boss, and I'm pretty sure he told us to go over, and we went through the tunnels.
So you're fucking idiots is what you're telling me. You had specific instructions for where to go, and you went a different way.
To be fair, he said that there were two potential ways, and to me it sounded like this would be the less dangerous way, as opposed to trying to fend off hill giants and the like, and rocks.
It was more of a misinterpretation.
I assure you a giant is much easier to fell than some of what lies beneath here. You're lucky you didn't encounter anything worse than a drider.
It was more of a misinterpretation of our boss's words. Unfortunately, we just misinterpreted what he was telling us, and we thought that maybe we could Gulron here wanted to meet some dwarves and thought maybe we could just come and talk and be friendly, and then we found this stuff that we thought you might be concerned with, so we thought even more of a reason to like bring it to your attention. But yeah, we weren't actually supposed to come through these tunnels.
Yes. Yeah, we found a ballista and I believe it was 2 catapults. We did not bring those with us, and
but you brought a ballista. You thought it would be a good idea to just waltz in here with a ballista at your back.
Well, at first we were thinking that if there was a way to pass through, maybe if we brought you this ballista as like a goodwill gesture and gave it to you, you might help us pass on to the capital. We didn't realize to begin with all of the implications this ballista.
Yes. That would have
You're not the brightest batch, are you?
Well, also the ballista is worth quite a bit.
I don't
of
have
money,
a
so
great
I figured.
intelligence. I don't know what you want me to say.
But I did underestimate the appearance of bringing a ballista to a city might have.
At an advantageous point as well.
That I...
Knowing the dwarves not be the best climbers?
Let's be reasonable. One ballista would do nothing.
One ballista would do serious damage to building work before we got people up there to deal with it.
It'd be a foolhardy errand.
Agreed, but a bunch of fools would be willing to run a foolhardy errand, wouldn't you agree? That's why the name exists.
But as you can see, we came down and foolishly...
Your friend turned traitor when he saw it was his own kind. He's never seen one of us before. For all I know, he was probably out filleting one of them in the fields.
We always knew.
Oh my.
It was...
You have fields down here?
Oh my God.
Yes! There's plenty of stones to mine.
Wait, out of character, we don't have any ammo with this ballista, right?
They don't know that.
But
yeah.
Gulron came down and said he's got proof of a weapon up there.
But I'm saying, but we know, like, we've looked at this ballista. We know that there's no ammo.
Sure, but he doesn't know that. How do you confer that information to him that he's going to believe?
Well, I would flat out tell him, send someone up there. Go check it out. There is absolutely no ammo with this ballista. You'll find our cart there that we were traveling with.
Just confirming that you're stupider than I thought. They sent you with an unammoed ballista? You trusted them?
So you're willing to believe that we're just
No, clearly I'm not.
All right. Well,
God,
you are doing a very...
You people are not good at dwarven humor, I can see.
You're doing an apt job of pointing out the mistakes that we've made, I will say.
Any humor.
Thank you.
To be honest, I don't really get humor. Sorry.
Now, if what you're saying is true, which I have no reason to believe otherwise, we will need to do some investigation work. In the meantime, you need to decide what you want done with yourselves. How you'll be going. Will you be going back the way you came? Or will you be trying to take the tunnels out? We can show you the way if you want to take the tunnels out. But you'll have to find a way to get your cart down.
So there are tunnels that would lead to the capital?
There are tunnels that would lead to the other side of the mountain. You'll have to find your way to wherever the capital is from there.
And you're familiar with the tunnels? Or someone here is, correct?
Yes, someone here is. We will show you the way, and we can draw you out the route. But we will not be sending one with you. You go into the tunnels, and you go into the tunnels on your own.
That's fair.
This is true.
Do you have a risk assessment of these tunnels? Anything?
I don't have a fucking risk assessment. I don't know what your ability is as a warrior.
I didn't know if you knew what might be in these tunnels. Sorry.
There's lots of things in the tunnels. You've already seen some of them. How'd you fare against that Drider? Maybe there's more of them. Maybe there's less. Take a wrong turn and you'll find 100 drow.
Speaking of, what do you know of Driders? I'm not completely familiar with them.
They are quite horrific creatures. Disgusting abominations of the evil gods themselves. Or at least what the drow call gods, if you could call it that. They worship a large spider-like creature. And everything they make has some kind of spider-esque thing attached to it. They love themselves poison, fight with blades. Drider are a particularly nasty problem, though. They use them as servants. It is thought to be a blessing for some and a curse for others. A permanent servant to their spider queen.
So the Driders are essentially slaves to the Spider's Queen.
All drow and all of the denizens down there are slaves to the queen.
In your expert opinion, is the tunnels through quicker than it would be to double back and go over?
Very likely. You'll spend several hours getting out of the tunnels, and then getting over the mountain will take another several.
I think one of us, maybe Brianna, would be able to climb back up to our cart and...
And what, lass?
Fall it down.
And fly it down?
Oh, I mean, we can...
Does your cart have wings?
Do you have any powerful wizards with some arcane magic that may assist us? We can pay for the service, perhaps?
Perhaps, I'm not sure. No one on our payroll. We don't trust that stuff. You can't have a wizard in here.
So you don't have any dwarven wizards?
Not in here. Not in the keep.
Oh, I meant in this village, town.
I'm sure you can find several.
Okay.
But you don't have a lot of time, because we're not letting you stay here any more than the evening.
No, we would
like to leave as soon as you will let us.
Well, if it is as soon as you'll let us, I'll let you. I'll let you go now. I'll walk you over to the exit right now, and you can be on your way. But you all look pretty shite to be leaving here right now.
Yeah.
Sure.
Your friend here, and he gestures over to Antaeus, who's like freaking out and waving like, no.
Let's not be too hasty.
The man is currently bleeding profusely.
Oh, it's but a flesh wound.
Yes, with your consent, perhaps we could find a night we could stay to recover ourselves and be off the first thing in the morning. Or I don't know how you tell time down here, really, but...
Here's what we'll do. And he turns and he picks up a piece of paper that seemingly kind of appears in like a wall he sort of reaches up to the wall, and as he does, like there's a slight opening that appears, and he pulls this piece of paper out, and he writes out some stuff on the piece of paper, and then signs it, and then rolls it up, and then hands it to probably to Brianna. This'll make sure that as long as you're in, that you have, that it's known within the town that you're able to be here for at least a few hours, and then you need to be on your way. Once this expires, though, no one will accept you in any place that you go. Your only route is out, and if you're not out shortly after it expires, we'll put you back in here. But make myself clear.
Yes.
How
yes,
much
sir.
time is given to us?
You've got about 12 hours.
More than enough, thank you.
And the map that you said, will you provide us with that, or is there someone we should seek out to get the map of?
Oh yes, give me back that paper. And he'll flip it over, and he'll like draw out a map, and he'll like, when he does it, he draws like little phalanges that don't go anywhere. Like he'll draw like the start of one, and everywhere that there's a break and where the caves would be. So you can follow that set of directions.
Interesting. Thank you very much. We do appreciate it. Are you? Do you mind if I ask? Are you the one that's in charge of this city down here?
No. And you won't be getting anywhere close.
Oh, I didn't mean anything.
Please don't lead me to believe that maybe I'm making a poor decision, and that you are just the bumbling fools that I worry you might be.
No. I was just hoping that I would be able to speak to somebody. I was curious as to what your requests were for the negotiations for the tunnels.
That's not anything that we'll be discussing with you, lad. Now.
Oh, okay.
A few guards will be in here shortly to take you out, and you can be on your way.
One last thing.
Yes.
Do you have a clergyman or a cleric of sorts I could speak with?
You can find one. There are several out there.
Do you have a temple erected to what was the dwarf?
Krazkaran.
Krazkaran?
Krazkaran. Krazkaran.
Krazkaran. Ah. Do you have a temple erected to? I would like to learn while I'm here.
There are a few.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. I wish you best of luck out there, and may Krazkaran guide you in your journey.
Thank you.
You as well.
And he will take his leave. About 20 minutes later, a pair of dwarves will come in, escort you out to the wall, unlock each of your manacles, and release you into the city.
Our effects.
Oh yes. All right, hold on. They'll go fetch your things and bring them out to you.
Much appreciated.
And there is a slim chance some of it is missing. But not today. All of your stuff is returned.
Thank goodness.
Is my stuff in there? It's under gambling.
Yes, you have your stuff.
Okay, thank you.
So yeah, as long as I guess we walk a little bit of ways, and then I guess we can talk amongst ourselves. Or...
So I presume you have some gold with you to spend. Yes, I don't need to because I can tell you where you could stay.
Is this the gnome?
Yes, it's likely not safe to stay overnight where I stay.
We have gold.
Good. There is an inn by the name of... Give me one sec here. Find the inn that he would suggest. An inn by the name of the Cursed Sword. If you meet there, Seely will take good care of you. Let her know I sent you. Just tell her the gnome in black sent you. Easier said that way than to share unimportant things like names.
And you wouldn't happen while we rest to be able to find some sort of a wizard who might have a way to help us get our cart down? Of course, we would give you compensation for doing this for us. And the wizard for doing the service.
I suppose we could. I will probably help you out with that.
Okay.
I'm sorry, he's going in Dwarven. I will probably help you out with that if that's fine with you. I suppose I can get that taken care of, and then that should be the end of our dealings.
Indeed. Thank you.
We appreciate
You're most welcome.
your help.
All right, let's go ahead and take another short break. And when we come back, we'll see what the party can learn.